Betrayed by love's lies. My boyfriend told me he had a family emergency and disappeared for the weekend, leaving me alone in our apartment with a half-eaten pizza and a sick feeling in my stomach. I tried to be understanding, tried to remember that sometimes families implode and people have to run home, but the story didn't sit right. On Sunday morning, while checking the mail, I found a thick ivory envelope addressed to me in cursive, tucked in with the bills. Inside was a wedding invitation, with my boyfriend's name printed as the groom, but the bride was someone I'd never even heard of. I went numb reading it, the words swimming. The date matched his family emergency. I called him, but he didn't answer, so I messaged his sister, who responded with a single heart emoji and then blocked me. I sat there, staring at the invitation, replaying every fight we'd had in the last month, the weird late-night phone calls, the sudden urgency to work late, the way he'd started locking his phone in the bathroom. I remembered how last week he'd said, "You deserve better than me," and I'd laughed it off, thinking it was just one of his dramatic moods. I drove to his mother's house, desperate for answers, but she looked at me like I was a stranger. "You shouldn't be here," she said quietly, and closed the door in my face. I could hear laughter inside, the sound of glasses clinking. I sat in my car, shaking, realizing that everyone had known but me. I thought about every moment we'd shared, the endless nights, the fights that ended in messy apologies, the promise that we'd always be honest. It all felt like a joke, a performance he'd put on for an audience of one. The twist came 2 weeks later, when I ran into the bride at a coffee shop. She recognized me instantly, and instead of anger or jealousy, she just looked tired. "He lied to both of us," she said, sliding a ring off her finger. I left him at the altar. We sat in silence, two ghosts haunting the same story. I realized my biggest betrayal wasn't him marrying someone else, it was how much of myself I'd lost trying to believe his lies.